All right, football fans, it's time for week number 8 of the NFL. Picks and predictions for the 2024-2025 season. And as we always do, let's look back at week 7 and... No. This was not it. We went down hard in the rankings. 28th, 29th even. We went down 20 places. We barely managed to break even. This was, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just talk about it right out of the gate. Thursday night football, Denver trounced New Orleans. Why did I pick New Orleans? I knew better than this, but for some reason I thought maybe just because the Saints beat the Cowboys, maybe the Saints were actually just a good team and we lost legit. It's not because the Cowboys suck. And no, New Orleans just ain't that fire. You know what I mean? So, and then we got the Jacksonville game right. That was pretty clean. Atlanta getting beat up by Seattle. It was like, all right. Interesting. And I can take a couple of losses, but and Seattle coming out of the woodwork like that, good for them. Buffalo beat up on Tennessee. We clean up there. Same with Cincinnati beating Cleveland. Okay. These are fine. Then Houston just barely losing to Green Bay. That was the one that kicked me. I hate losing the Thursday night game regardless who is playing, whether I pick the underdog or the favorite. I always hate losing the Thursday night game because it sets yourself up for disaster, and look no further. We're in disaster zone because my big one where everyone was picking the Packers, I was like, Houston got this, and they barely lost, but they still did lose. So the Texans go down, and now I'm not looking so hot after, into the 2 o'clock run. Indianapolis does beat Miami, just barely, and Detroit beats the Vikings. So my big 2 picks that everyone was picking Green Bay, and everybody was picking Detroit. And I picked the opposite. So I'm 2 games at bare minimum down, not even counting Thursday. I'm 2 games down from basically everybody else out of the, 63 people. So I'm just, I'm sitting here like this. This is not going to go well for me. Now, granted, Philadelphia cleans up to no one's great shock. So does the Rams over Vegas, though quite a few people did still pick Vegas, but the majority was still the Rams, so it wasn't like a huge extra 1 point for me. Washington beating up on Carolina was just, that was a free give it away point. Then San Francisco loses to Kansas City. Man, I mean, see, the problem is that my upsets were right there ready for the taking. My upsets were good picks. Vikings, Houston, San Francisco. These were solid picks. But everyone else I knew was going with the opposite. And I thought at least one, even if 2 of them work out, I'm going to get up there. None of them. Not a single one worked out. Not a single one of my upsets worked out this week. Not one. And we're seeing it on the scoreboard here, because then after Kansas City manages to beat San Francisco, then the Jets lose to Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers, picking the Jets is just becoming one of those things where it's just like back in the day, like, what am I supposed to do about this? Really, what am I supposed to do? Baltimore does end up beating Tampa Bay, thankfully enough, though 41-31. It was a very high-scoring game. And then Arizona manages to beat the Chargers. So I don't clean up on Thursday. I don't clean up on Monday. And my Sunday was not so hot. So 8 points. I dropped down over 20. I dropped down 20 places in the pool. And now I'm 10 points out of first. So craziness there. Craziness is abound when you watch sports. So either way, let's jump into our actual picks now that we've recapped that terrible week of week 7. Let's try week number 8. Okay, so starting off with tonight's game, we have Minnesota at the Rams. Now, the Vikings might have just barely lost to the Lions, but I still got faith in the Vikings. Let's go, Vikings! Let's go. The purple, the gold. Come on. And I mean, I love the Rams. Rams are my second team due to my father-in-law. I mean, eventually going to be ex-father-in-law. But still, my father-in-law's team is the Rams, so I got a big love for the Rams, from years of, being around him and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's definitely the Rams there. They are still my team, my second team after the Cowboys, but let's be real. The Rams have not done great this year. Have the Rams really... They managed to beat San Francisco, but have they done much else? Really? So, I mean, let's just go with the Vikings. Just because they lost to Detroit doesn't mean that the Vikings aren't still a really strong team. So let's go Vikings. Then we're going to go with Cincinnati. In Cincinnati against the Eagles, because I think both teams are kind of wishy-washy, but they're in Cincinnati. I'll give them the 3 points, and I do think it'll be a very close game. Baltimore over Cleveland, no question, moving on. Detroit over Tennessee, no question, moving on. Arizona over Miami. I honestly, everyone's going to pick Arizona, and I know why, but I coin flipped it. I did. I coin flipped it, and Arizona won out, so I said, all right, we're going with Arizona. Let's go. Now, even though the Jets disappointed me last week, the New England Patriots are right down there in the bottom of the barrel. I still think the Jets... I think this game will probably be like 10-7. It's not going to be a great game, but the Jets are still going to win it. So I'm still going to go with the Jets. I don't have faith in either team, but you got to pick somebody, right? Not picking at all is just... You're not going to win that way for sure. You're a guaranteed 0 there, so might as well pick somebody. So I'm going with the Jets. I'm going with the Buccaneers over Atlanta because they gave Baltimore a huge run for their money, and Atlanta got absolutely destroyed. So I think Tampa Bay at home has I don't know if they've relocated or whatever since the hurricane and stuff, but wherever they're playing, still I'm giving Tampa Bay. Not just the 3 points, I'm giving them the full possession advantage. I think Tampa Bay is going to do a lot more damage to Atlanta than people think. Then it's Green Bay over Jacksonville, no question there. Houston over Indy, no question there. Chargers over New Orleans, I was a little but Chargers barely lost to Arizona. New Orleans got dog-walked by Denver. I sort of had to play that. And once again, it's different styles of football. Some teams do better. It's more of a triangle matchup. A beats B, B beats C, C beats A sort of idea. It's not really a tiered system. It's more of a triangle. It's more of a circle, more of a loop in that regard. But either way, I still got the Chargers over the Saints. I got Buffalo over Seattle. That pick is probably my most likely one to change. Seattle has been looking like they're coming up, and Buffalo has been stagnated in this. We're a good team, but we're not proving that we're great quite yet. So, will I stay with the Bills? I'm not sure. We'll know by Sunday. Then Denver over Carolina, no question. Kansas over Vegas, no question. Washington over Chicago, still no question. And then sending us off with Sunday Night Football, San Francisco over Dallas. Yeah, San Francisco lost. Dallas, oh, my Cowboys. I'm still wearing their merch, but I mean, because I'm a real fan. I hate them a lot of the time, like a fan should. Like when they fuck up, you hate them, but at the end of the day, I'm still a fan. They're still my Cowboys. They're still my team, and I stand behind them. But if they're not ready for this game, which if they got dog walked that hard by the Lions, second worst game in franchise history, loss, what are they actually going to do to the 49ers? You know what I mean? I don't think the bye week was a blessing in disguise like a lot of people are hoping for. I think that it's just going to show that we're just back to basics. Nothing changed. And I will gladly eat my own words if this ends up 36-10 in the Cowboys' favors and we dominate them. More than thrilled to take that L. But I'm not expecting it. So I'm a Cowboys fan, but sometimes you got to be a realist when you're a sports fan. You know what I mean? So, anyways, that's the big game on Sunday. So, looking forward to it with gritted teeth. And then Pittsburgh over the Giants in Pittsburgh for Monday Night Football. So, those are my picks. 16 games ahead for week number 8. What are your guys' picks? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time for week number 9 of the NFL picks and predictions. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Enjoy some football this weekend. And tonight's game, of course. Have a good one. See ya.